Welcome, everybody, to Night of the Nerdy Laser Podcast, episode 142. I am your host, as always, Richard. I wish I was in this fraternity, Yule.
And I'm Jeff Lamb.
We are discussing On the Road to FrankenCon Nightmare Sisters from 1988, which is coincidentally the same time that Sorority Babes and Slime Ball Rama come out, which we will explain why. Jeff is holding up for all our YouTube viewers the Nightmare Sisters Blu-ray from Vinegar Syndrome.
That's not
And
helping.
I couldn't find mine because I have the slip that makes me instantly better than Jeff.
Naturally, yeah.
He's very jealous right now,
So
everybody.
jealous.
But I've probably lost it, so it's fine. I
Well, there you
have
go.
just stacks of movies sitting around the room. It's like I'm walking through eggshells or whatever the saying is. That's right. We are on the road to FrankenCon because the three stars of this movie, Linnea Quigley, Brinke Stevens, and Michelle Bauer, will all be at the horror con that me and Corey Keelan from Spooky Dudes run, FrankenCon, right outside of Knoxville, Tennessee. You can go to frankencontn.com and FrankenConTN on social media to find out more, and we have a ton more guests. But we are covering Nightmare Sisters because we have already covered Sorority Babes and Slime Ball Rama. You can go back in the archives and listen to that. So that'll be fun for you if you decide to do it, because that's an episode where Matt's on it, I believe.
I think so.
I believe Matt's on that one. So this one is directed by David Dakoto.
David
Dakoto.
Yes.
As is Sorority Babes and Slime Bubble Rama.
Yeah.
Jeff will give you some tips and tricks on that news later on. But first, I want to discuss the Pooniverse, which
Yeah.
Jeff had no clue what that was. And I'm very disappointed. It was released a few weeks ago.
I'm not up on my news, I guess.
You're not. I know. You suck. So we have Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and the sequel just come out for Fathom Events. It was out for 3 days, and I don't think it came back. They re-released it. I was hoping it would be out again this week, but I can't find it. It took me a while to watch Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, but I really liked it, man. It's got a early 2000s feel about it. And I dig it. The company doing this is Jagged Edges. Edge is the name of the production company, and yeah, they're doing the Pooniverse. So they're taking Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, and Bambi, The Reckoning, and Pinocchio Unstrung. And they are doing next year, Jeff. So all those movies are supposed to come out before next year. And then in 2025, they will release the Pooniverse, which is has a tagline of Monsters Assemble.
Shame on Marvel. This company could put out 6 movies, and Marvel can't even put out one. Terrible.
Well, to be fair, Marvel's been a little busy doing that for the past 10 years, and it finally caught up with them. Or 15 years, or however long.
I'm glad. They had their run. I mean, I've watched...
And now it's time for Winnie the Pooh.
Move on over. You lost your licenses on these beloved old characters. Time to make horror movies. No, that's fine. I mean, I don't know. When I originally saw that, like, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey was a thing, I was like, that's fake. Obviously it's not, and I didn't even know the second one already come out, but apparently it has. So
I mean, it's like the first one where it's like a Fathom Events kind of thing, so it's not wide or anything, but it was in Knoxville, but I decided to go see Late Night with the Devil. So
yeah, cool.
Instead,
how's that?
I enjoyed it. It'll come out this month on Shudder.
Yeah.
I suggest everybody watch it. We might cover it eventually.
What's that main guy's name in it?
David somebody.
He was the polka dot man in the Suicide Squad reboot.
Yeah, that's what I heard. And he was
Last
also
Voyage.
apparently in that Voyage to Demeter or whatever it's called.
Yeah, he was good in that.
He's great in this. I liked it a lot. I don't think it's like the greatest movie you've ever. You know, people go in like they're like, "Oh, how was it?" And it's like if you say, "Oh, it's good," they're like, "Oh, okay, I figured it sucked." It's like, "Wait, what?" No, I said it was good. They're like, "But it's not the greatest movie you've ever seen." I was like, "Well, no. I mean, that's reserved for Terminator 2 and Jurassic Park."
Predator.
I mean, I saw it late, so.
All right, fine. Fine.
So anyway, no, I like the Late Night with the Devil a lot. It's probably not what people think it is, and I don't think it. Two things: I don't think it works as a found footage movie at all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they should have, built it around that kind of, because they do in the movie at the beginning, and then, but I don't think it works for me. And then it's kind of an anthology.
Oh, okay.
With a wraparound. Like it's got like 3 stories and then a wraparound. I mean, so it's kind of an anthology movie.
Interesting.
I mean, nobody said that, but that's what it is.
So the news of this movie came out, I feel like so long ago, and it
premiered at SFX or whatever that is.
The South by Southwest, or
the film festival.
Okay, yeah, and I mean, but even before that, I swear I heard like that it was a thing, and maybe I was just following that guy because he was the polka dot guy and the Demeter guy, so I was like, oh, okay, that sounds cool. The concept kind of seems unique, like a TV late night show that's also found footage. I don't know how they're going to work that in. You said it doesn't really work like that, so maybe there's a little too much as far as description goes for them. But I'm curious still to see what it's about, and if it's on Shudder, I'll watch it.
I think April 19th, so soon.
That sounds
by
right.
the time this drops.
Yeah, I think actually this will come out after, but
we're that far ahead, people.
Are we, or did I just mess up the? I think I just messed up the dates. That's fine, not a big deal. But yeah, no. So it's. I'm curious to see it. I fell behind on my Shudder stuff, is what I think I was going to say, and I was trying to catch up on that. I watched Suitable Flesh that Joe Lynch directed, and
oh, he did that. I didn't know that.
Barbara Crampton's in it, and Heather.
Is it good?
It was okay. It's Lovecraftian for sure. I know Corey didn't like it at all.
So I should watch it.
So you should watch it, yeah. Yeah, but there's that Satanic Hispanics that came out. That's like an anthology that I want to watch because it had that Gigi Saul Guerrero who directed a segment. I think Mike Mendez directed a segment on there. My friend said he didn't like it, but anything that's on Shudder, he kind of complains about. He's like, it's low budget and stupid. I'm like, what do you want it to look like? Like Annabelle or something every time? Like, I don't know what he's expecting from stuff. It's like not every studio has like $40 billion or $1 million backing it. You can't. You gotta give me a break, man. Come on. We just watched Die Die Delta Pi, so it's like we don't set the bar all that high. But yeah, no, I'm curious to see it. Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about on that the Puniverse, as you say?
It's not me. You got to see the cover, dude. The cover is wild.
Okay.
I mean, it looks like the Avengers.
God.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh boy.
Aim high, folks. Live your dreams.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we're going to move on from that, I do want to talk about something I've been playing lately.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. Helldivers 2. Have you been
I have not. I listened to GameScoop. Do you listen to GameScoop?
I don't.
Dude, it's
So
the greatest video game podcast. It really is.
I'd be
They're,
open to listening.
the guys are really cool. And they do video game 20 questions at the end, which I love. And but they talk about Helldivers too. So, but
It's
I don't know anything about it. It's on Steam, right?
yeah, Steam and PlayStation right
Oh,
now, so I don't think it'll go to Xbox. The first one was a PlayStation exclusive too, but it was a much different game. So this one, just think Starship Troopers essentially, and a bunch of like drop pods and stuff, and you just fight like hordes of things while doing some kind of missions. But there's also you're fighting bugs on one front of the war, and then you're fighting robots on the other. And I guess I'm not following. It's a fun game, but I'm not following like the lore or anything like that. But it's funny because like IGN will post like, "Oh, robots attacked here today," and
Game Scoop is IGN, by the way.
oh, okay,
Game Scoop
so
is IGN.
okay, that's one of their spin-off shows or whatever. Yeah. So they'll be like, "Oh, a new front broke out on the robot war," and like all this stuff, and it's like players are going to fight here because like you try to liberate planets. And
is it first person or
so it's third person. It's kind of like almost
like Gears of War,
almost like Gears, a little bit more zoomed out. So it's not that over the shoulder like roadie run that Gears has, but it's similar. And the
is
studio,
it easy to play? I mean, is it like just shoot them? Like I'm not looking for shit, am I?
no. So like basically every time you drop into a planet, you get one mission, and then there's a few like sub missions that you could do. And as you increase in difficulty, the more, because I think we're playing on typically like a 5 or a 6, and it goes up to like a 10. So and it gets 5 and 6 is hard. So we're having a hard time with it, which is good because that.
So I need to play on like -1.
Yeah, but like as you increase, the more enemies show up and the types of enemies. So like the bigger bad guys show up, like a charger type, like a ram type guy that runs you over. There's one called the Bile Titan, which is this huge like arachnid looking thing that just spits like venom on you and kills you. It's pretty fun. And then like higher you go up, there's more of that. But yeah, the missions are basically kind of rinse repeat type things. So, and then you have to evac, which is kind of fun. And friendly fire's on, and we find ourselves killing each other more than the bad guys most of the time. Peyton's always like, "Here, watch out!" And then like, an airstrike just comes and kills me. I'm like, "Well, I know who called that one in because he's the only one who does it." And we're like, "You need to learn, like, don't put that there." But no, it's fine. It's kind of funny. And I know it's a fun game because of how many of my friends actually showed back up to play it. Because like most of the time, like I'll be like, "Hey, get this game," and like one or two of them will pick it up. But like all of us have it, so there's like 7 or 8 of us that like could like interchange and play because it's limited to a 4-person lobby. But it's still pretty fun. Like if anybody out there is into those kind of games, just kind of mindless fun games that you could hang out with some friends and play, I'd say go for it and play it.
What started the horde thing? Was it Gears?
Gears 2, I think.
I mean, Gears 2, yeah. It was so fun.
Yeah, that horde mode took over. Then like zombie mode, kind of from Call of Duty, was
Call of Duty, yeah, that was super popular.
Then it kind of went to that battle royale stuff with like Warzone and PUBG and Fortnite, which is weird because Fortnite started as like a tower defense kind of game almost.
That's what I heard the other day, that it actually just changed.
Yeah, they just like were like, "Oh, this mode's way more fun on it, so we're just gonna take it out and make it its own thing." Because Peyton and Taco both bought it, the like original one, and like we're playing that, and then they're like, "Oh no, this other mode's better." So basically, the game you bought's no good. So screw you and your money. But like that's kind of, it's weird. Video games are just real interesting like that because PUBG started as a mod from a game called Arma 2. I think it was, which was like a first-person military shooter game on PC. So somebody took it, modded it, and like made it its own thing where it was like a survival game. And that was DayZ actually. DayZ is what came from Arma, and then from Arma was PUBG. So it's just kind of evolution of it. Yeah, it's interesting if you think about it.
Well, I mean, look at Grand Theft Auto. I remember playing Grand Theft Auto 1 and 2.
Top
in
down.
my friend's like bedroom, like, and it was this over the top, like crazy game that was super cool. And then part 3 come out and it's completely different to the better. And then, I mean, it changed video games.
I know Vampire Mike's a bigger fan of 1 and 2 than he is of 3 and everything after that. He was telling me he likes the other ones.
I mean, I liked 1 and 2 a lot. I like them a lot. I like 3. I mean, Vice City took up a lot of my time.
Oh yeah, a lot of hours.
But I actually like the driver. I like the driver games a lot.
Yeah,
At least the first 2.
I didn't play them, but I remember the covers. Always seeing them at like Blockbuster or GameStop, even. Another one I liked that was a driving game was Stuntman. That kind of reminded me.
Stuntman's awesome.
Stuntman was
Yeah,
fun game.
I mean, driving games. Burnout 3 is the best.
Is that the one where you just crash and get scores?
Well, I mean, there's different. Yes, that is a mode that became very popular. They have crash mode.
Okay, I remember playing it at a GameStop, which was across the street, basically from another GameStop, because one of them was EB Games and they bought it.
Oh,
so it was like right next door. It was hilarious because you'd be like, all right, I'm going to go to GameStop. And then you're like, I'm going to go to the other GameStop, and you just walk across the street essentially, and you're there. And then they merged. And then GameStop bought up Think Geek and a couple other properties I really liked and ruined those. So thanks, GameStop.
Thanks, GameStop, for giving me $1.50 for this game that you put $44 on.
That's it. That's what they do.
All right. Well, that was fun. Fun little discussion about video games. I need to check out the Helldivers. Maybe. I mean, I can play stuff. I don't have a PS5 or 4.
You've got a gaming laptop.
I mean, I do. It's this one. So I could put it on there, but then I might have to take my lawn mowing simulator off of here. So, I mean, come on, Jeff.
I don't think it takes up much space, so you should be okay.
I mean, I can't give up my lawn mowing and truck driving simulators.
Hey, if you're into simulators, I saw one for Power Wash Simulator.
Oh yeah. I've watched YouTube videos on that. It's so relaxing.
And there's another one me and Taco were talking about. I think it was gas station attendant simulator.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I'm at the same time, like, I'm like, how stupid is that? The other part of me is like, I probably should play that.
They have Goat Simulator.
Goat Simulator, nice. Okay, don't know why. Did all this evolve from like SimCity games essentially?
I mean, I think so. I mean, I think just the sim games in general, you know. I mean, it's just this idea.
It's a way to step out of your life to do something.
Yeah,
else.
I mean, and it's people wanting, you know, like, I don't know. I mean, I think it is kind of dumb, like, because lawn mowing is my least favorite activity, but video game lawn mowing, actually, I have to be careful because I haven't played it in a while, but I used to come home from work and play it, but I would fall asleep while I played it because it was so relaxing. And so I would just be like, I'd wake up and I'm like through bushes and stuff.
Crashed into a brick house. That's funny.
And the truck driving game, I like following the rules, like stopping at red lights and doing what I'm supposed to. Of course, you know, you can get ticketed if you don't. So
have you seen that guy that streams himself playing the like driving simulators like that, and he'll wreck, but then he's in his chair and he's like flails all over the place when he wrecks. Like he took a semi off a cliff and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, everybody, I love you," and then he just pops out of his chair and falls back. That's pretty funny. Good. Yeah.
Yeah, I've watched a few of those simulator guys. So anyway, okay, well, let's get on to The Nightmare Sisters. So why is it interesting that this came out in the same year that Sorority Babies and Slimeball Bowl-rama?
Well, it came out in 87, I believe, is when they were filmed. And they decided, hey, you know what? After Slimeball, we haven't had enough films yet. So we're going to take $40,000 that was left over, whatever like crew and some of the cast that were left over, and we're just going to make another movie. And that was kind of like Dakota's thing. And he was with, was it Full Moon, an Empire that did all those films together. I believe sorority
I
was
think so. Yeah.
full moon
Full
for sure.
Moon was Sorority Babes.
Yeah, and I know Dakota was working with Charles Band, so I know. I think that was just their kind of. They took the Corman kind of filmmaking style, where it was like, here's this leftover set, and like just bankroll us a little bit of money, and we'll go ahead and write up a script real quick. But they filmed this one in 4 days, so basically over a weekend, I think is what.
And like $40,000.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's really like one set.
yeah. It's all just in a house, and
I
you
mean,
assume
there's
the fraternity that the guys are at is just a different bedroom of this house.
yeah, that's what I assume too. Yeah.
It has to be the same exact house that the sorority was at Slimeball, where the nerds are kind of watching them through the windows and
Yeah,
all
that
that
makes
stuff.
sense.
It has to be the same exact house.
When I was in California a month or so ago, we went to the Warner Brothers lot, and you can do the tour on there, and they drive you around, and then, I mean, they have a whole neighborhood city there that movie studios use.
Uh-huh.
They can rent it out, and a lot of the buildings and houses uh, have been used in many different things. Like, I think the Growing Pains house is the same house as like the kitchen from the Drew Carey show, and like different things like that. But anyway, they let us go into one of the houses, and it was just really cool to see, like, how it was set up for filming, kind of. And I don't know if this was the same situation, maybe not, but just found it interesting. Um, so yeah, we did Sorority Babes and Slime Balls Roma, and that was a huge movie for me when I was growing up, and I liked it, and I still like it, but it's a lot of nostalgia based. But I dig this movie a lot, actually. It's not so much horror, right? Like, I mean, it's comedy. It's like a comedy with demons, I guess, with a succubus. I mean,
Yeah,
but I mean, it's not scary or bloody.
it is Slimeball Babes essentially, because the people kind of get possessed by the guy in the bowling trophy, but this one the girls kind of get possessed by a magical ball or whatever. So
Crystal ball.
crystal ball, yeah. And so it's kind of the same setup and concept, and people spying on them and whatnot. So
But I like this because the basic premise is you have these nerdy girls from the sorority and these nerdy guys from the fraternity. And the girls, I love what I love about this movie is just seeing Linnea, Brink, and Michelle just being these nerdy girls. Like, it was just funny, and seeing Michelle like in jogging, like in a tracksuit with a
yeah,
headband. It's just, I don't know. There's something I just liked about them and their acting, and just the way they portrayed these geeky girls, which they never got to do. They kind of got to kind of act in a way.
yeah, yeah, and they do the kind of stereotypical nerd thing where it's like Linnea had like some fake teeth in, essentially like big teeth, and like you were saying, Michelle had that suit on, so it kind of like bulked her up. And then um, Brinke, what was her character? Just kind of nerdy with the glasses and stuff.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just kind of that innocent, goofy, like, here we'll just do this real quick, and you could tell it was over a weekend, but that doesn't take away from it or anything like that.
No, but I'm telling you, so there's a very beginning scene where we kind of find out about this crystal ball. That scene is like 7 minutes long.
Yeah,
It goes on forever.
I started that, and then I walked out to do something. Came back, it was still on. I was like, I'm gonna go put the stuff back in the other room. And then I came back and it was on again. And I was like, dang, maybe I missed some important stuff. So I watched that part again. It's not all that important. So I just watched the really long, kind of boring part twice. But hey,
No, it's not important, really.
no.
So Brink's character finds this stuff at a flea market, basically.
Yeah.
And so the crystal ball's in there. And when the fraternity guys come over, they decide to do a seance, and it works, and the girls get possessed by a succubus.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we get a lot of good nudity in this one.
Yeah, 38 minutes.
I think some of the best nudity of them just standing there naked, like, and
Yeah.
then we get like a 10-minute bathtub scene.
Yeah, yeah. We get so the scene with them standing there. We get that, but they're like, all right, that's enough standing in this room. Let's go stand in this other room, and they go to the kitchen and throw pie on each other.
Then they're like, let's take a bath.
And then throw soap on each other.
So I guess the only other thing that happens in this movie is like there's these three guys that are from the fraternity that are assholes, and so they kind of spy on the girls, and after the girls get possessed, they kidnap all the three other nerdy guys and begin to try to have sex with the succubuses, which becomes probably not a good idea.
Yeah. It's a very simple movie, but
Yeah, and that's the movie basically.
Yeah,
I do really like Michelle Bauer in The Jungle Room.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
But I was saying we kind of got no, you're good. I was just gonna say we kind of got away from breakdowns in our new kind of like format, but this movie is so simple.
That's the movie. Like that's,
yeah.
I mean, but it's it's hard to. I mean, yeah, we're done basically. Like that's the movie. But I don't know. There's just something really charming about the movie, and I mean, I think it has to do with Linnea, Brinke, and Michelle. I really, really, really like them in this movie.
Yeah, they definitely have a fun energy.
I mean, and they're naked a lot of the time, so it's hard to argue.
Yeah. Speaking
of naked,
our buddy
we have Jason down in the dungeon. Where he's chained up and not given clothes.
Yeah, just like
this show is sponsored by The Dungeon at Southland. It's one of our favorite stores right here in Maryville, Tennessee, on East Broadway at the roundabout. Find Southland books and drive around the building. You'll find The Dungeon back there, and Jason will be clothed. I mean, I can't make for sure promises, but usually when I go in there, he's clothed. So you can go in there, and he has all kinds of physical media that you would love. Anything such as VHS tapes, DVD, Laserdisc, a beta copy of Godfather, vinyl records, tons of old school vinyl records, and even some new ones from Waxworks and some other companies. And you can also find this Nightmare Sisters movie. He has a few copies of with the slipcover that is sold out and kind of hard to come by. And the artwork on that slipcover, man, that is probably my favorite slipcover of all time.
Yeah, I think me and you had mentioned that was kind of like the prime
Vinegar Syndrome days, man.
Yeah, I mean, there's still some interesting stuff, but that's when we're all in. Like that was staying up on halfway to Black Friday and the Black Friday sales, and
halfway to
hanging out with our friends and just chatting, like hoping something cool came out, and just really getting into collecting.
Yeah. Now we're trying to sell it all.
Yeah.
So apparently there is an alternate version of this movie, which makes sense, and it was shown on USA. So
like Up All Night?
Probably Up All Night, and USA love those kind of smutty movies. So there is a version edited for language with all the nude scenes cut. It also adds additional scenes shot for television that replace the deleted nude scenes. Oh, this included an alternate transformation sequence of the three girls wearing lingerie to replace the nude transformation scene, an alternate pie eating sequence with the girls in lingerie, a completely new scene of the three girls in lingerie jumping up and down on a bed in the bedroom. They are playing with balloons and blowing bubbles. This replaces the nude bubble bath scene.
Ooh.
less explicit demon sex scene with Michelle Bauer in her jungle outfit. And it also has a completely reshot sequence with Linnea Quigley singing Hollywood Boulevard Boys replaces the original with which has some nudity. Uh, is that version on the Blu-ray?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm assuming it is because it just says the alternate feature length. Why can't we talk? The alternate feature length TV version. So it's got to be on there.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Oh, I
I'm
want
kind
to
of
watch
curious to
that.
see it because this movie it only runs 82 minutes uncut.
Yeah.
So, I mean, watching the TV cut has to be about 80 to 90 minutes too. I'd assume less, but
Yeah, I mean they well, at least they replaced them, they didn't just cut them.
to be special.
Yeah.
Just cut
45
out some
minutes.
nudity. What did we watch that was like 40 minutes and then the other cut was like an hour?
Oh yeah,
It
shit.
was something we covered. I feel like it was a full moon or a trauma movie that.
Yeah, it was something. I can't remember. It was recent though.
Yeah, it was fairly recent.
Oh, it was the Rabid Grannies.
Yeah, that's right. But we
Um,
decided it was okay that we watched that. I have a couple trivia things, I guess, that I'll toss in here at the end. You said this earlier too, that Michelle Bauer used her last name McClellan in this.
I noticed it in the credits.
Yeah.
But apparently it was due to a divorce, and
Mhm.
the ex-husband was
He was going to
threatening to
sue her for using her name.
sue. It's
Linnea Quigley kept the fake teeth and fangs that she wears in the movie. You'll have to ask her about that.
Oh yeah, bring them.
Yeah, that'd be funny. Michelle Bauer actually made her cave girl outfit in this.
Nice.
And then let's see. The boys' dorm wall had a poster of creepazoids that's visible, which
I
was another
noticed that.
Linnea Quigley and David Dakota movie. And let's see. Kenneth J. Hall not only did the voice of the succubus puppet, but also built and operated the puppet. So, and then Brinke celebrated her birthday on set. Script was written in 7 days. Man, see, it's films like this that have a lot of fun, interesting, like trivia and fun stuff behind it. Like you get a big studio movie. It's like Christian Bale wore a hat for 15 weeks to get in character, and you're like, I don't care. I don't care about that. I like this stuff. This stuff's fun. That stuff's not fun.
Yeah.
So
no, for sure.
I'm just thinking about him wearing a hat now for 15 weeks.
Well, now every time I see him wearing a hat, I'm going to be like, wonder how long he trained for that.
That's funny. Yeah, there's way more trivia on there, but I mean, I'm not gonna. If you want to read it, just go on to either the wiki or the IMDb for it.
Like I said, I just really like this movie. I remember I watched it as a late night movie for myself when I first got it, probably a month after I got it, and I really loved it. And then I haven't watched it since, and then watched it today, and I don't know, man. There's something about it. I wish I'd found it when I was a teenager,
I bet you did.
long ago.
I
Yeah,
bet.
even the USA version, I mean, I just think it's a fun movie. The plot doesn't get overcomplicated. There's not too many characters. I mean, there's not really death scenes per se.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if you like gore and stuff like that, you're not going to find it. But I don't know. I just really dig it.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that, and I think this one, similar to Slimeball Babes, benefits from a couple rewatches because it's like a fun one that you could toss on, and say you had a bad day at work, you're like, I'm gonna just put something fun on.
I mean, it's really stupid comedy. I mean, the girls don't get nude till like 35 minutes.
38 minutes.
So, I mean, so it's just a lot of like, I think it's good dialogue. Like, I think it's entertaining dialogue, I'll say. I mean, you're not going to get Quentin Tarantino dialogue, but I mean, like, it's fun. It's fun, funny dialogue that you can just laugh at and think it's stupid.
Yeah, it's and the acting in it isn't like bad acting or anything. That's the other thing. A film like this, you could kind of be like, if the acting's like wooden or stupid or the dudes do fine and the girls do fine, as
Yeah.
far as acting goes.
Yeah, 100%. How many out of 5? How many girls in bathtubs do you give this movie?
Well, there's 3 scream queens in this movie, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the easy thing and just say 3. But I'm gonna be honest. When I first started the movie and I was about 30 minutes in, I was like, "This is not gonna be a good review for me." But the second like half, well, not half, but about the after the first third of the film, it does pick up and it does get a little bit better, and it's pretty fun at that point.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I give it a 3.5. I love it. I think it's great. I want to watch it again, and I normally don't have that attitude. I definitely want to watch the edited version now.
Yeah. And I wanted to watch it on Tubi because I would be curious to what plays next, but it wasn't on there. So
I know. It used to be. It did used to
that's
be,
what I
and
thought.
they may have cut it out. So yeah. There was also I like the song at the end, the succubus, and at the beginning.
There's a
Um,
couple goofy songs in it. And I
yeah,
was like, did they just write that like on the spot and just for a couple of those?
probably.
And I had
Um,
I had the subtitles on, so it was singing the words, and they were so stupid.
yeah.
It was like, "Show me your thing," and I was like, "Okay, easy now."
If you're curious, so sorority sisters succubus is performed by Haunted Garage.
Okay.
Also, one of the reviews of this movie has the title of "Why Not Just Rent a Porno Movie?"
That's pretty
That's
funny.
funny. That's really funny. Apparently, it's also known as sorority sisters. So
Okay. I wish Vinegar Syndrome and places like that kind of went back to releases like this. I mean, they're releasing stuff, but I feel like their releases they've gotten with all their different, sub labels and stuff that they're doing these days. They've kind of gotten away from. They're getting like old studio stuff that kind of
yeah.
got forgotten, like that cinematograph or whatever it's called, cinematography. For I don't know their new one.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I don't know how to say
Me either. I'm not cultured, clearly.
it. You
Um,
uncultured swine.
yeah, but no, they got that stuff. Like I know they had like Daryl and a couple other things, and like a lot of Paramount. I feel like
Navy
TV
SEALs.
sales. Like they're getting a lot of stuff that like that's cool that they're getting it, but at the same time, I wish they would still do stuff like fun stuff like this. When they were
Yeah, I
doing
don't know. I
a lot of
don't know if I
Trauma and
have.
a lot of Full Moon stuff, I thought it was fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I
Well,
mean, I definitely think I used to have more fun with Vinegar Syndrome, and now I don't tend to. Um,
yeah,
but it's fine.
yeah.
I mean, also it's hard for me to pay like $45 for a Blu-ray,
That's the
and
thing.
or 4K. And I mean, okay, so let's say it's a 4K. I don't even have a 4K player, so
Well, neither do I now because my Xbox was like, you know what's better than working? Not working. But yeah, no, because I wanted the new halfway to Black Friday stuff because they did that thing with Navy SEALs, like you're saying. But what I mostly wanted was China O'Brien
yes,
because
I did want that. Yeah,
I wanted China O'Brien and I want that new one they just announced this month, Lady Reporter. And I and
that
I
was her first movie, first her first headlining role.
Yeah, and I mean,
Jesus,
she's fun. Like her movies were fun. We put her movie out, and it was our best episode. So
that's crazy to me.
yeah,
Although I really like Cynthia Rothrock movies too.
she's fun.
Um, yeah, they are fun. Speaking of fun, FrankenCon is coming up in just a few weeks at this point on May 10th and 11th, right here outside of Knoxville, Tennessee, at the Alcoa Hilton Knoxville Airport. And you can go to frankencontn.com to find out all the information. But Linnea, Michelle, and Brink are all going to be there, and we are doing a special photo op.
Oh,
You know what is going to be in that photo op, Jeff?
That bowling pin in your hand.
I have in my possession 10 authentic bowling pins.
You better juggle
them. Here, Corey loved when I did this. It looks like I'm juggling, right?
Yes, that's juggling. If I had ever seen it.
So yeah, to
That'll
see
be fun.
that.
That'll be, that's
We've got a bowling alley. So we've got a bowling alley backdrop and some bowling pins that you can hold or not hold, do whatever you want. Make it your own. So that's gonna be a lot of fun.
That's what you guys do, though. I mean, you provide that unique opportunity that a lot of other places do. You did one last year, right, with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like the dinner.
So the first year we went away from it in Bride because we just we put the photographs in somebody else's hands and got bit. But the first year we did do a Leatherface dinner table scene, and we also, because we had John Dugan that year, this year we have John Dugan, Alan Danziger, and William Vale. But we also had Joe Bob and Darcy the first year, and we set up like lawn chairs and a cooler, and it was really cool.
Yeah. So I mean, you guys put out a great product. So I hope everybody that listens and lives in that area can make it out there. Even some of the people that don't live in that area travel.
Yeah, I mean, we surround some big states, and it can be a 4-hour drive. So I highly recommend it. Not just because I run it, but we really do try our best to put on a fun show. And we have over 15 guests this year. And we are also going to have Brian Bremer with us for the third time, and he will be doing an in-costume photo op in the costume of Pino from Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 5, The Toy Maker. It's going to be really fun, and we'll have a Christmas backdrop and stuff like that. So I'm really excited about that. And speaking of Brian Bremer, next week we have a huge Road to FrankenCon episode, as we are going to have Brian Bremer as a guest to talk all about society.
I've been asking to talk to Brian for so long, so I'm pretty excited about it.
I finally gave in. I fucking can't.
Can't hear me anymore?
Oh, God. Yeah. Every time, here's the deal. Every time I mention that I'm going to a con and meeting somebody, or I mention a guest that we got for FrankenCon, Jeff's immediate response is, "Oh, you should ask them if they'll do the podcast," which automatically makes me not want to ask them if they'll do the podcast.
I don't blame you. I'd probably be the same way if I had that. If all the power comes great responsibility or whatever. I don't know, Stanley.
So anyway, we appreciate you listening. And what could they do to help us out, Jeff?
Yeah, if you guys wouldn't mind, and we'd love it if you went on to Spotify or Apple Podcasts and hit that subscribe button. It's free to you. We put out our show weekly, and it's always going to be free as far as I know. But yeah, go on there, give us a review, a rating, 5 stars, and let us know how we're doing. I mean, it's, one reason I got into podcasting was kind of to create like a community and a place for people to talk about the stuff that they love. And I'd like to see us get to that point. Like, we have our listeners that listen faithfully, and I appreciate that, but let's grow this thing and make it a bigger thing and have some fun with it.
Let's grow this thing. That's what she said.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
All right. You can also email us at nightofthenerdylaser@gmail.com. You can follow us on TikTok, and Instagram, and Facebook at Night of the Nerdy Laser. And until next time, what should they do, Jeffrey?
Guys, please keep it bloody.
Or else I'm going to beat you over the head with this bowling pin.